Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you for coming back to another broadcast over here at the Ellis Network. There's two articles that I want to bring out to you guys that I want to discuss a little bit. Just getting online and looking around and come across these articles that I think that's um one's pretty cool. Another one, we can kind of see what might be going on within North Korea. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the first one. And again, guys, when I talk about what I'm reading, it's not that I'm agreeing with it. It's just that's what's being talked about. So again, the first article that we're gonna be reading from is from PBS NewsHour. Um, and this is talking about thousands of demonstrators across the world protest violence against women, which I 100% agree with. Violence against women, violence, just violence, period. But you know, when I read this, the only thing that I could really think about was protesting. Protesting has been, today's society of normal. Um, and it's not just happening here in America. We've seen it happen in, the UK, you know, um, Mexico. We've seen protesting going on all around the world, and it's being very rampant within the last 5 years. Again, now it's today's society. It's normal. And I'm not talking about just here in America, but again, worldwide. It could happen in Turkey, Iraq, Iran, any place. We know South Korea had one, even though that they were sitting there protesting President Trump, you know, causing a war, if I shall say. But let's get back to this article a little bit. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. People in Turkey, France, Chile, Italy, Mozambique, I think that I don't know how to pronounce that one. Sweden, Spain, and other countries marched this weekend in support of the United Nations International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, commencing 2 weeks of campaigning for gender equality. We've seen that going on within the last year here in America. Um, but what I see, with women equality, protests here in America, I can't agree with, some of the ideologies that they're putting out there as feminism. I seen a photo earlier that showed, in the early 1900s, 1930s, 1940s, what a woman looked like after you know, after the women's rights movement happened. How they were all prime and proper. And then it fast forward another picture at the bottom and showed 2017, and it showed women topless and, with slut wrote across their names, just very degrading. And that's today's society. I guess that's what female protesters are protesting about nowadays. I don't know. But this right here, I can get behind this protest. Violence against women. Um, I don't agree with any kind of violence at all. I think there's a diplomatic solution to everything. But there's a lot of women out there that do get, beat, abused. I know a few of them, that went through that as well. So we see this a lot. It's no longer being a closed door situation. Thousands of people are marching for this. Um, One in every three females experience violence in their lifetime, most often from their partner, according from the UN. And then the trend holds the world back from substantial development. So, this is going on for, they said, 2 weeks. Um, they're campaigning for gender equality. Again, it's been going on worldwide. All right, so I'll post a link in the article if you guys want to read deeper into that. There's plenty more on it. A lot more comments from Emmanuel Macron, um, and a few other comments from others. But the next one we're going to get into, and this is coming from ABC News. And we've been following the North Korean defector. He's got shot 5 times. He was fighting for his life. They found massive parasites in his body. Um, I haven't looked into his health yet, so forgive me on that. But this article came out roughly about an hour ago, and it's saying that North Korea is digging trenches where the defector crossed the DMZ. Um, so with that, I don't know if that's a sign of there may be a possibility of more soldiers trying to defect from North Korea. We know what life is like in North Korea. We know how the ideology of the militaries are in there. You fight to die, hunker down, you know. And a lot of people, even North Korea's military, know that if they was to get in a war with the United States, that's a war that they would not win. They don't want a war with the United States. So maybe as things are heating up, soldiers are starting to defect. We've seen plenty of defectors from North Korea. But this is where they're digging these trenches is the exact same place where the defector earlier this month crossed over. They're digging trenches, putting trees up, definitely trying to fortify. Again, we don't know if that was just a fluke, one-time deal, or if they speculating that, there's some kind of tension in their military, and this may happen again. I don't know. Maybe you do. Let me know. A video released by United Nations Command showed the 24-year-old defector identified only by his family by the name of O. So we're calling this gentleman O. Running toward the border as his fellow North Korean soldiers chased and fired at him on November 13th. O was able to cross over the military DMZ, but was shot at least 5 times. Again, he was in the hospital. They were doing multiple surgeries on him, trying to get those bullets out, trying to sustain his life. He was in critical condition. They do now have his health back up, but he's fighting infections with parasite disease. With they suspect worms. South Korea soldiers cautiously dragged O to safety and transported him to a hospital where he underwent 2 surgeries. His operation revealed that O had parasite infections and a hepatitis infection. Hepatitis I didn't know about, so that's a new development for me. Mark Napper, the U.S. diplomatic leader in Seoul, South Korea, tweeted Wednesday as he visited the joint security area that the North Koreans have planted 2 trees and are digging a trench at the spot where their soldiers crossed the MDL. So, again, like I said, they're digging trenches in spots that they've never foreseen there being an issue. Now that this guy has successfully, granted being shot 5 times, he successfully defected to South Korea. They are digging trenches to try to keep their people in. Again, we don't know if that was just a fluke and they're tightening up loose ends, or if they are actually gearing up for some unrest within North Korea's military. We don't know. We know that there's a whole lot of people in North Korea that agree with the way things are. And a lot of soldiers don't want a war with the United States or war at all. And they see that Kim Jong-un, he's not being talked down. There's a lot of nuclear annihilation threats. These people are human beings just like us. They just want to survive, be happy, be peaceful. They're not terrorists. They're not radicalized. They're civilians of North Korea. They just don't have any say. So again, guys, I'll post the articles in the description. You guys can read them. Let me know what you guys think. All right, later.